Hey there, everyone. Thank you so much for being patient with me. As you can probably hear, my throat is kind of still sounding a little funny, but I wanted to take a few minutes to go ahead and show you a couple of the things I do with some of my scarves. I love any ideas or hints or anything that you all could share with me, but I do want to go ahead and just show you a little bit of what I do. I have actually 3 scarves here that I want to show you. First off, I have a thin, really long one. It's not silky or slippery or anything like that, so it holds really well in my hand. I also have a square one. I do use some larger square ones, and so I want to show you how I fold it and prepare it to put in my hair. The other one I have is a little bit thicker, and this is one of my favorite scarves. I absolutely love the coloring on it, but it is also, it's rectangle. It is super long. When I do a full head wrap, this is the one that I use. I have 3 or 4 that are just like this, that when I want to do a full head wrap, these are the ones that I use, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So the easiest ones are the long ones, and so I wanted to show you what I do with that. Usually I will fold it till I get to a width about right there. I have what you can kind of see is a little bit of a widow's peak still sitting there. So depending on how wide the scarf is, sometimes I will do it in 3s, sometimes I will do it in 4s. Sometimes I'll try to kind of fold it with a little bit of a pattern in it so it gives it a little bit more of an interest in details. So, but for this, I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you a basic. So I have a couple different things I'll do with it. So the first thing I'll do is just wrap it around. I start with it pretty low on my forehead because once I get it tied, then I can push it back. And then how I tie it in the back will help just kind of keep it in place. My hair placement on my head also helps keep it in place. When I do this, typically what I'll do is a higher bun, so it will help keep it from sliding back. So when I have it on my head like this, I'll do a knot here, and then just do a simple bow. Big bow, and then I'll just spread the bow out. So spread it out just a little bit, just for you. And then what I'll do is I'll pull it back just a little bit, and it will kind of fill the back here and the top up here. So I'm going to turn around real quick so you can see this, and then I'll show you a little twist that I can use with a longer rectangle scarf. So hopefully you can see this. Again, there's my bow, everything wrapped to the side. Make sure you can see. So that's kind of my go-to when I'm in a hurry, essentially what I go to. The other little twist that I have is once you've tied it back here, if you have a long enough scarf, you can actually pull up part of it, and then up against the top here, you can do a little bow up here as well. So a little frilly, little poofy. So I'll do this going to church and things like that. That way I have something else kind of going on up here. So this is the little variation I have on this particular one. So if you have some really nice hairline here, you can actually pull hairs out and all this. I don't have a lot, so I can't pull anything out, but it's really, really cute if you pull a little bit extra hair out if you have it, especially kind of around your ears and what have you, do little ringlets or however you want to do it. But that's my long, excuse me, rectangle scarf, and those are kind of the 2 ways I change it up. I'll do it with a high bun, a flat bun, what I have right now, and then I can do a low bun with this as well. So that's scarf number 1. So the other one I'm going to show you is a rectangle scarf, and I pretty much do something very, very similar with the rectangle scarf, but you have to fold it obviously first. And what I do is I fold it into a rectangle first, and then what I'll do is I'll fold it in half into the rectangle, and then fold it in half into the rectangle again. So essentially what I'm doing is making something very similar to the rectangle, long rectangle scarf. This is just going to be not as bulky. So this is going to be for y'all that don't want something quite as bulky, but then you can do something very, very similar to the back. This one's a little stretchy. I actually have a lace one that's a rectangle, or excuse me, a square that I flip it into a rectangle, and it's got all the fringe and everything on it, so that it adds a little bit more pretty to it. Again, this is going to be something that's kind of less bulky, but still kind of still have the side and then the back. Again, it's a little thinner. I do have folks that I know that will take this completely up. I don't keep this one up just because I don't have enough hair up front to do this, but I do have some folks that I know that will do, essentially flip it around and do their bow kind of up here. I'm not as skilled with this one because I don't have that much hair up here. And just play around with it until you get it where you like it. And it will do some coverage right there. Again, not as big, not as bulky, but it still provides coverage for those who need just a little bit of coverage here. So there is that. Try to get smooth right there on the back. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I am going to show you my favorite scarves. Again, these are what I'll do if I need to do a full head wrap. Again, they're a rectangle, but they're very, excuse me, very long as well. And so I don't do a complete fold in half. I kind of go to the halfway part and fold it over part way from there. So we try to I need a third hand apparently. So you see it's folded half to the half, and then the other half is just single there. So what I'll end up doing, hopefully you can see that. As you can see, the half to the half, and then the second half is just open. And so what I'll do is do a full wrap from here. Usually days that I'll do a full wrap is when I know I have a lot going on. And so I'm looking for more of a scarf to provide a full coverage to my hair. So this is the full wrap starting from the top of the hair. As you can see, because only half of it was flipped over and the other half was all solid, it allows it to come fully down. So when I tie it, it provides full coverage. From here, you can tie this in a bow in the back. You can go ahead and bring it up and then wrap that way around your bun. You can also take this and actually start this from the back of your hair and work your way up. You probably will see a lot of demos out there with it starting from the back and coming to the front. So I'm going to try to do that for you all so that you can see what that looks like. Again, this is the one side. Start from the back. I'm going to have to tip my head over just a little bit. Wrap it and tie it. Tuck it behind my ears and tie it real tight. This is kind of the start of that. Typically, if I'm going to do it this way, I have my bun right on top of my head, because then what you'll end up doing is twisting this around your bun. And then you can tie it or tuck it in, whatever you're more comfortable with. Again, normally when I do it this way, I actually have my hair right here. So this sits completely on top of my head. Try to get you a back view. Again, you get full coverage doing it that way. I'm going to flip it back around so you can see how I normally do it when I start at the top and go back. So you're probably wondering why my hair is so weird looking in the back. You can see hairpins and all this stuff. That's not normally how I wear my hair. I actually did have a wig on earlier today. And so that was, just freshly took my wig off. So if I do a full wrap here, again, you can see in the back, complete full coverage. For me, it's kind of just an easy go-to once I've done it, just to kind of do the bow thing. And then I have a full wrap. So these are just kind of a couple really simple things that I do. Again, if you have some hairs around here, you can definitely pull things out and do a little curls with them, or, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. But these are just some easy head wraps that you can do, that I utilize when I am using scarves on my hair. You've seen some pictures of the wig I have on my page, and so feel free to take a look. That's just kind of me a test. I'm trying to figure out how to get all this stuff flat enough for a wig to see, so that was kind of just more of a test wig. I have worn it out a couple times, so definitely feel free to comment, feel free to share this video. I love you all. Thank you all for your support. My first video showing what's come of this got over 1,000 views, and I really, really appreciate everybody who's watched and all the support and love that you have shown over the last week and a half. So keep sharing the message. You know, you can be beautiful even when your hair is falling out for whatever reason. You still want to be beautiful, and there are definitely ways to do that. And so we want to be there to be a support for each other, sister to sister. And I would just encourage you, if you know somebody who's struggling, feel free to share the page. Feel free to like and follow some of our feeds and photos. You'll start meeting a little bit more of my family and kind of where we live and experiences that we're dealing with as we are a growing family. And again, feel free to like and share all you want. So go out there and live more abundantly with the beautiful headscarves. Love y'all. Bye.